This week's episode was wild. I was in tears during this show. I'm so invested, shocked, stunned, everything. So let's rehash and rewind. Tell Me Lies, Season 2, Episode 7. Spoilers ahead. Okay, so we start off the episode with Steven in the car wreck with Macy, and he's obviously having a dream because Lucy is the one who comes and puts Macy in the driver's seat, and she's rubbing his face and she's like, "You're okay." And is this Steven like feeling bad for Lucy? Is he like falling back in love with her for what they had? I mean, he is dreaming about her. So the girls are all gathered up in Pippa and Bree's room. They were looking at Thanksgiving photos, and both the girls were like, "Have you talked to Leo? Like, what's going on with Leo?" And she's just like, "Oh, I haven't talked to him. I haven't called him." And she tells them how she doesn't want to disappoint him, and he just sees the good in her. So she's taking a walk down memory lane, and she's like, "One good thing about Steven is that I could tell him anything." Bree and Pippa are confused and kind of just look at each other. She tells them that he's the first guy that she wanted to tell what felt good.
I guess he was the first person I slept with that I could actually tell him what felt good instead of just letting a guy guess.
And I think this means that like sexually she could tell him what was going on. And I think that she just means like she could be like who she was around him, because he's like the worst person ever. So why would he ever judge like the little stuff that she did? And Pippa's like, "What are we doing tonight? What's the 411? What are we doing?" And Bree and Lucy look at each other and they're like, "Our professor Marianne is having a huge Christmas party." And Lucy looks at Bree and is like, "Are you going?" Because it's at Marianne's house. And guess who lives with Marianne? Ding, 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 her husband. Duh. And that's also Bree's boyfriend. So this Christmas party is just going to be awkward. So awkward. So this next scene was heartbreaking. And we all have that soft spot for Wrigley. So he's sitting there talking to the coach, and he seems like he's applying for a job at another college to work for a football team. He's asking the football coach for a recommendation letter, and the football coach is pretty much just like, "You suck, you haven't been in the game." And Wrigley blames his knee injury, and the coach is like, "Yeah, you show up, but your head's not there. Like, there is something wrong with you." And I mean, that's pretty harsh. After this little meeting, he tries to call Drew, but Drew does not answer, so he calls Pippa. And you guys, I feel inappropriate just being in this room. This next scene with Oliver and Brie, I'm in the living room of my house, but the show is making me feel like I'm somewhere I shouldn't be. They are like kissing in his office, and what is this? Oh my gosh. So it makes me so sad because Oliver is like, "Oh, I have all this stuff to do. I have to go to London for Christmas," and we stay there through the New Year's. And Bree's like, and Bree doesn't have family to celebrate like the holiday with. And it just made me upset for her because she's just trying to find like a person, family. Like she just wants someone to be like her rock. And because she doesn't have like siblings, she doesn't have a mom or a dad. And so it just makes me so sad for her. Bree is like, "Should I go to this Christmas party?" And this scene is so intense. Like you can tell Bree has this man by the balls. I don't know. She seems like powerful in this situation, but then again, he seems so manipulative, and he just gives me the ick. She's like, "Should I go to this Christmas party?" And he's like, "If you want to go to the Christmas party." And she's like, "Is this going to be weird? You're going to be co-hosting with Marianne." And he's like, "I don't think it's co-hosting if it's at your own house." Awkward. Oh my gosh. He pulls out a present, and the present, oh my gosh, what could it be? What could it be? I just know it's going to be a camera. I called it in my last rehash. And yes, it is a camera. She's stunned. She's like, oh my God, I didn't get you anything. This is so nice. And he got her a probably like expensive camera. It's probably at least like a $200, $300, $400, $500 camera. And our girl is surprised. She is shocked, everything. And Brie whispers in his ear, I guess you're just gonna have to be suffering at this Christmas party with your wife, me, and Lucy, and you're gonna be suffering with me looking all hot. Just kidding, but she gave that like impression. That's pretty much what she said, you guys.
I guess you'll just have to suffer all night while we're at this party together.
Stephen and Diana are at dinner and they're drinking wine, having a good old fancy time. But you can tell Diana is stressed. You can see it in her face. She picks up the bill because we know Stephen, our little broke boy over there, doesn't have the money and he's just being so mean to her. I wish Pippa was around so that she could slap him and stick up for Diana. He tells her that Sadie is still not talking to him, and Diana offers to reach out to her, and he's like, if you want to help me, you need to go talk to your dad. And I need that letter of recommendation. My whole summer job didn't even count if you don't talk to your dad. And Diana is like, well, I didn't do well on the test. She's like opening up to him, and she's saying like, I feel burnt out. I probably flunked the LSAT because I had like the pressure from my dad, and she's just trying to express to him, and she's thinking about taking a break, maybe taking a year off. And Stephen does not like this one bit. He's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Sir, you're responsible for yourself. Diana and her dad are not responsible for you. So how about like the rest of the poor people? You work your way up. You don't just use your girlfriend the whole time. Like, he's just being an asshole to her. And he pretty much says like she shouldn't be stressed about anything because her life is so perfect in his eyes. He drives me bonkers, and it gets even worse. The waitress comes back and tells Diana her cart declined 3 separate times. And Stephen like looks at her and he's like, your dad's card? And he ends up paying for it, and he's gonna be an asshole to her the whole rest of the night because of it. So Brie and Lucy head off to the party. Right away, as soon as they walk in, Marianne's like, girls, help me with this, and hands them cases of alcohol, probably like champagne or wine. I didn't read the box, but they're carrying these boxes, and I thought they were going to run into Oliver right away, and it was going to be super awkward, but they didn't. Brie is being so awkward, though. Marianne raises a toast to her, Lucy, and Brie is blank. She doesn't even drink the champagne. And Marianne's like, are you okay, Brie? And Brie awkwardly compliments her Christmas tree.
You okay, Brie?
Yeah, I'm great.
Good.
I saw your tree.
You saw my tree?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
So Lucy and Brie are walking throughout the house, and there's Oliver. Him and Brie make eye contact, and she tucks her hair behind her ear and reveals the earrings that Evan bought her. Is she showing off the earrings because she wants him to be jealous, or is she trying to remind Oliver of the second night they met and he touched her earring? This is just so awkward. Oh, what is gonna happen at this Christmas party? I am excited and so nervous. So we see Evan, and Evan is in investigation mode. He is on Facebook looking at all of Brie's friends list. Who is the old man? Who could it be? Who's the 45-year-old? Who is she dating? Evan needs to know. And I kind of love that. He's doing the good old Facebook creep, you guys. I left Facebook permanently. I hate Facebook. Facebook is so embarrassing. I was like, I would call myself one of the first generations of Facebook because I would post everything. Like, oh my God, I should have never had access to a computer and the internet when I was like in 7th grade. They gave all the kids in my area laptops to take home, and I was on that thing all night, nonstop on the computer. I was definitely one of those people that used Facebook as my personal diary. I knew everything about everyone. Embarrassing. Do you guys remember those Facebook days? Ugh, I don't want to remember them. So Evan's doing the creep, and of course, Steven is right behind him, the biggest creep in the world. Steven, I feel like he has the searching skills of 15-year-old me. He is wide-eyed. He's like, yeah, Bree's fucking a 45-year-old. Let me get on that computer. I don't know why. I just thought it was so funny because I never thought boys would be doing this. Like, I live for Facebook stalking. I miss a good Facebook stalk. I haven't done a Facebook stalk in years. And it's just funny watching these boys kiki around the computer in investigation mode. So Steven opens up about Diana to Evan, and Evan is just like, I don't understand your relationships. And he just said that Diana is falling apart and that shouldn't change the way he feels, but obviously it does. And he's ignoring her calls. And we all know that if Diana was on a good relationship with her dad and they still had plans to go into college together, he wouldn't even have these blinders on for her. Literally, he is an opportunist. He is using everyone. Pippa is hanging out with Wrigley, and he opens up on the couch about not getting that recommendation letter from the football coach. And Pippa's like, he can't psychoanalyze you. And Wrigley's pretty much like, no, he's right. It has something to do with Drew. And I just want Drew to talk to me. And Pippa's like, it's okay. Just give it time. And then they find this portrait of Steven while Pippa was looking for the Halo controller. Look at this picture of Steven. Look at this photograph. Every time I see it, it makes me laugh. You guys know that song. I love that song. Oh my gosh. This next scene, I am crying. I'm crying. So Pippa tells Wrigley that she likes girls, and Wrigley is a little confused about it. And he's like, well, do you like boys too? And she's like, yes, of course. And she looks over at him and she's like, please don't tell anybody. And she tells him that he's her best friend. And she also tells him that she has never told anyone that she likes girls. And Wrigley says, you're my best friend too. And I'm crying. This is so emotional. I love this friendship. I love it. So Lucy sees Katie at the Christmas party. And remember, Katie is the person that sent out the email about Chris. And so Lucy goes over and talks to her. They laugh a little bit. And then Katie says, I just can't wait for this semester to be over. And it was just so sad. She's probably feeling 1,000 things after like being assaulted by Chris and everyone knowing about it. Like everyone knows about this. Like everyone knows what happened to her. And it's just like so sad. And then Marianne comes up to her and she's like, Lucy, I wanted you to meet my husband. This is Oliver. And Lucy does not have a poker face. What are you doing? It's written all over her face. Literally, Oliver is screwing my friend Brie, like on her face. Like you can see it. I can see it. It is so awkward. Oh my. Oh my. You guys, I'm worried. Is there going to be a letter? We know Lucy loves writing letters.
Better yet, I'm gonna write a letter. You are in big trouble. Dear Mr.
And she is talking to Oliver and it's so awkward. And you know Oliver is going to bring this up to Brie.
You having fun?
Are you?
Oh, don't worry about me.
Better yet, I'm gonna write a letter.
And then Marianne comes back and Oliver's like, I'm going to go get something to eat. Marianne comes up to Lucy and she's like, I'm seeing the change in you this semester and Merry Christmas. And look at Lucy's face. She's going to slip. She's already writing the letter in her head. Is Lucy going to set up a situation where Marianne catches them? What is going to happen? And this is the episode where Megan Oppenheimer, who is the showrunner, says that it's going to be the most controversial and she might get canceled. So what is going to happen? I cannot handle it. I cannot handle the suspense. The suspense is killing me. So Brie is surrounded by two boys and she is so pretty. Oliver walks by and she's like, "Oh, excuse me." And she goes and gets food right next to Oliver. Oh my goodness. Oliver slips behind her and rubs against her and says, "Wipe off your lipstick and meet me in the back room by the back door in the back dark." What is wrong with him? Has he done this before? Like, wipe your lipstick off? This is premeditated. This is premeditated. There they are in the laundry room. Things get heavy. Brie can't even focus on what they're doing because they're doing it. And she's looking at Marianne's bras and Oliver is hitting it from the back and Brie is not enjoying it at all. After they are done, after Oliver is done, they are cleaning up and you can tell Brie did not like it. She's looking around the room. She looks like she's about to explode. Brie starts having a panic attack. She's like, "Your wife is right out there." And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just got carried away. I wanted you so bad." And she's starting to hyperventilate. She's like, "What are you doing? You're married. Your wife's out there." She is losing it. And he looks at her and he knows that the only way he can calm her down is to drop the L bomb. Yes, he says, "I love you, I love you, I love you." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love you too."
Shh. I love you.
What?
I love you. Okay?
Brie, no, girly pop, run, run. Oliver walks out and then Brie walks out and guess who's standing right there? Yes, Lucy, 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 our Lucy. Lucy is pissed. Oh my goodness, I am screaming. I am screaming. This next part is wild. She's walking out and she sees Marianne cuddled up next to her husband right after he just did her in the broom closet and said, "I love you." Just kidding. It wasn't a broom closet. It was a laundry room. And Brie goes back to the laundry room, takes off her earrings and puts them in his pocket. What was she thinking? Oh my gosh. She probably should have just left one earring, but she took both of them off. She wants Marianne to think something is up. And wouldn't it be more natural to just leave one earring with next to the cum rag? And oh my God. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I'm just getting ahead of myself. So the next scene is Wrigley and Pippa waking up next to each other. And I felt the tension in the room the night before. I knew they were going to do it. I just knew it. Wrigley's like, "Please don't fake it." And Pippa does it. She tells him what she wants and she gets it. She finishes the line. She crossed the line for the first time. She crossed the line. So Brie shows up at Lucy's with coffee and Lucy is not happy with her. Brie's like, You don't understand what it's like for someone to love me. You have your mom and sisters. I don't have anybody. And Lucy's like, "Well, what do you think is gonna happen? He's gonna leave Marianne for you?" Because he's not. And Lucy takes off on a jog. While Lucy is on her jog, she runs into Steven, and he was actually nice to her. He asks her if her and Leo made up, and she tells him no, being way too nice to Lucy, which is strange to her, and she just runs off again. And while she's done with her jog, Lucy gets a call from Lydia, and Lydia says something, and Lucy is like, "Well, good for him." So it's something between the Katie and Chris situation. So Lucy goes and talks to Pippa and tells Pippa that the board didn't believe Katie. And Pippa tells Lucy, I remember more from that night. And Lucy doesn't ask any follow-up questions, which is probably good because you don't want to push someone that's not ready to talk about it. And Pippa's just like, can we go out? Can we go out to McKinley's tonight? And it looks like the girlies are going out, and it just has me so sad for Pippa. So Steven is kind of being a dick to Wrigley, and Wrigley calls it out. Wrigley's like, are you mad that I hooked up with Diana freshman year? How come you never said anything about it? And Steven's in full douchebag mode. He tells Wrigley, you don't have any basic problem skills. You're trying to get back with the girl that wrote the letter that destroyed your brother's life. Isn't it so crazy how Steven can literally believe his own lies? Pippa didn't write the fucking letter. Lucy did, and you're still defending her. He is still defending Lucy, and it's just so crazy.
Because I hooked up with her freshman year? Why didn't you say anything?
Because left to your own devices, you have some difficulty with basic problem solving. For instance, you want to make peace with your brother while getting back together with the girl who wrote the letter that ruined his life. You need help.
How are you so sure that Pippa wrote it?
Oh, Pippa worked fast. She really got in there.
So Wrigley, Pippa, Lucy, and Wrigley's friend, they're all sitting at the bar, and Molly walks up, and she must have been part of like the student council. One of Wrigley's friends brings up the case against Chris, and they are all talking about it. And I couldn't handle this next part. Oh my gosh. So Lucy tells Pippa's story. Lucy says it happened to her though. And yes, she claimed Pippa's story as her own, and she tells them about that night and what happened to her.
Dude.
Because this is not the first time that Chris has done something like this. He did the exact same thing to me. I was at a party and I had a beer that Chris gave to me. And my friends found me in a bed upstairs with Chris. I couldn't talk, I couldn't fucking walk. And he had me half undressed. And I threw up all over myself, and my friends had to kick him out of the room and take me home.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know that happened.
And I don't even have words for this. This is crazy. My jaw is on the floor. Jaw on the floor. Jaw on the floor, bitches. Oh my God. I'm literally crying. I am in tears. This show has me by the freaking balls. Okay, so Pippa runs into the bathroom and Lucy runs after her, and Pippa is not okay. Lucy's like, we can go home, and Pippa's like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay with Wrigley. And Lucy leaves, and while she's leaving, she sees Diana talking to Molly, and Diana is giving Lucy a dirty look. So Molly definitely told Diana what Lucy said. Pippa comes out and she sees Diana talking to Molly, and Diana is worried about Pippa. She is like, can we talk? And here comes Wrigley, and Wrigley's like, yeah, that's so crazy what happened to Lucy. Men are disgusting, and at least we don't have to worry about it with this one because she's only banging girls.
Well, luckily we don't have to worry about anything bad happening to this one now that you're only hooking up with the girls. I'm joking.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
But Wrigley, no. This seemed so semi-innocent. I don't think Wrigley said it in a malicious way at all. He was just trying to be funny, but at the wrong time, wrong people, wrong everything. So Pippa loses it. She freaks out, yells at Wrigley, and I'm pretty sure it was just icing on the cake from all her anger with Lucy saying something, from Wrigley saying it, and she told him not to tell anyone. So she loses it, like on top of it, like he said it in front of the girl that she likes, which is Diana. And Wrigley blurts that out and Pippa loses it.
Are you even a real fucking person?
What?
Have you ever taken anything seriously? You know, not everything is a fucking joke just because you are. There's no wonder that your coach wouldn't write you a recommendation. Who would recommend you for fucking anything? You're a fucking disaster. It's fucking embarrassing.
And Wrigley is crying after this, and Pippa leaves, and I'm just so emotional. Oh my God. So Diana goes to Lucy's room and tells Lucy that she's a liar and that she should have never lied about that. And the next day, Pippa is lying in her bed, and Wrigley comes to her, and he seems like he's on a psychotic break. He is crying. He is so sad. He says, like, no wonder why Drew doesn't talk to me. And it's just so sad. I'm literally crying. How many times did I say that this episode? Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. I'm so annoying. This show is crazy. How can TV make you so emotional? So she comforts him and just told him that she's going to help him. And geez, you guys, what more can Pippa and Wrigley take? They are going through so much and it's just so emotional.
There's nothing wrong.
Oh, there is. There's something wrong with me. I don't feel normal. It's been wrong for a while. I don't feel normal. I feel like, fuck, I'm sorry. I feel sad all the time. You should never talk to me again.
We're gonna fix this.
I'm sorry.
In the morning, Lucy gets a message from Lydia, and the word got around quick. Lydia pretty much cuts her off and says, I'm blocking you, leave me alone, don't talk to me ever again in your whole entire life. Diana is waiting for Steven at his dorm, and Steven is something else. I just cannot handle him. She's just trying to talk to him, and he's like, I can't take your shit, Diana. I can't take your shit. And Diana loves this man so much. She's like, okay. And then she starts kissing him, and they're like about to do it. And out of nowhere, he asks her if she's afraid of him. And he's like, how do you know I'm a good guy? Like, how do you know I'm a good person? What if I'm so horrible? And she's like, I know you're not. I know you're not capable of that. And then he gets up and is like, I have to go. What? Sir? You're just going to leave Diana there in your dorm, not explain where you're going or anything? He goes and he knocks on Lucy's door, and he has to talk to Lucy. What is going on? Lucy is packing up, trying to get ready for class, and she says that she's going to be late. And then they show her class. Marianne walks in with the earrings that Brie left in the laundry room. What? Oh my goodness. So Steven goes into her dorm. She leaves the door like halfway open, and he tells Lucy, like, you loved me even though I'm a bad person. My own family doesn't even do that. See, we don't work with other people. We are meant to be together.
Do you think I am a bad person?
Yes.
And you always knew that about me.
Yeah.
But you still loved me. I think you might be the only person that feels that way about me, not even my family.
Why are you telling me this right now?
Because this goes both ways. I know all of the worst things about you, the shit that nobody else knows, right? And I still love you. That's why we don't work with anyone else. Aren't you tired of feeling sorry?
And Lucy closes the door. So what, are Steven and Lucy back together? What is going on? I am so emotional. Only one more episode to go after this. Oh my gosh, I can't handle it. So Diana needs to ditch Steven Cheater Pants. Did Marianne find the earrings and remember that they were Bree's and this is her call out that she knows that her husband screwed a teenager in the laundry room? Did she find these and not remember Brie wearing them and Oliver saying they were a gift for her? How does Diana find out about Lucy and Steven? Do we find out what happened to Drew? What happens with Lucy telling this lie? Does Evan and Steven find out that Brie screwed her teacher's husband and call out Oliver? Please, 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 please comment all your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing from you all. We are so close to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. You guys, I'm blown away. I'm just a mom with a microphone in my basement, literally waking up at 5 a.m. to try to do something. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit it so I'm not talking to myself. I cannot wait for the final episode next week. And I can't wait to talk to you guys in the comments. Bye.